mantra for a successful life. Thank you so much, sir. Now take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Kum Kum Dewan. Dr. Kum Kum Dewan, Vice Chancellor, Noida International University. She has over 45 years of work experience in various capacities in central government and private universities in India and abroad. She has been a visiting professor, Concordia University, Montreal, Canada. She has also been the Vice Chancellor acting Jamia Millia Islamia Central University, Dean Faculty of Natural Sciences from 2005 to 2008, Professor and Head Department of Mathematics in 2000 to 2003 at Jamia Millia Islamia. She was the Professor of Mathematics, Department of Mathematics, and conducting and supervising research scholars and teaching MSc Mathematics, MSc Industrial Mathematics with computer applications. We welcome you, ma'am, at I.T.S. Now I request and invite Dr. K.K. Dewan for her address.
Good morning, everybody. Honorable Director, Mr. Sunil Kumar Pandey, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of HRD, Shri Anil Swaroop, Honorable Shri Arpit Chadda, Vice Chairman, I.T.S Group, Shri Surinder Sood, Director, I.T.S Group, Dr. Harish Pant, Managing Director, Hampsons Industries. Other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. Delegates, faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to be with all of you this morning and share with you some of my views on the subject of today's conference, New India Vision, ICT in Nation Building. Let me first of all express my thanks to the management and the organizing committee, especially Dr. Sunil Kumar Pandey and Dr. Ajay Kumar, who gave me this opportunity to be with you this morning. I would also like to express my appreciation for choosing such a relevant and important topic of the conference. This shows not only their vision, but also their concern to expose the thinking of the students from today in technology to tomorrow in digital technology and day after tomorrow in digital-enabled space technology, changes in medical sciences, changes in the way we live and the way we think. Probably, after the invention of steam engine, which brought revolution to the industry and changed the manpower to engine power to light energy, the next biggest revolution which the mankind is already witnessing and will have the impact on all aspects of human life for decades to come is information technology, computerization, and digitization. In terms of time and space, the speed at which this change is coming is also remarkable. Let me share with you that after the invention of telephone by Bell Graham, it took 155 years to reach 1 billion users. Then the diode technology changing to transistors and thereafter changing to LED screens, that is television, took over 50 years. Internet has taken 24 years to reach 1 billion users. Now, if we look at the smartphones, it has taken only 8 years to reach more than 1 billion users. This is the speed with which technology is moving today. And as this technology moves, it disrupts the lifestyle, it disrupts the thinking process, and it creates a place for itself to be adopted practically by every human being all over the world, cutting across the divide of geography, caste, creed, and religion. The next revolution, which in my opinion will reach 1 billion of users, will take much less than 5 years. Some young man like you or Bill Gates must be working in some garage in his house to transform the smartphone from what it is to what it should be. We started with using phone to communicate the voice signals. It changed to SMS. It assimilated in it imaging to make it a camera. It included in it internet to transmit and receive the text. It has further expanded to become a television where we can see live television transmission. It has become a radio where we can hear AM and FM channels. It has become a storehouse with 128 megabyte storage in handheld smartphone. 4G and 5G technologies have converted into cinema screen where one can download a movie of 3 hours in less than 5 minutes. Not only this, digitization has made the smartphone into a bank from where one can withdraw and transfer money. It has become a friend-making platform by using Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Actors, politicians, singers use Facebook, Twitter for reaching large group of people in the shortest possible time. Not only this, the impact is such that today the biggest taxi company, Uber, does not own a single taxi. We simply order it on demand. The biggest hotel company, Airbnb, does not own a single hotel. We simply choose the price that suits us. We no longer go to the banks, we do mobile banking. Not only this, digital money transfer have saved Government of India 17,000 crores on gas subsidy alone using the Aadhaar card. Today, we feel lost if we don't have a mobile in our hand or if we are not connected to internet. You can imagine how much more will come once digitization sinks into our daily lives. Students, you are now facing education revolution. We are all familiar with virtual classrooms, library, online examinations, classroom being replaced by TV screens, teachers being replaced by pre-recorded lectures. Education and the system of education, methods of imparting education, teaching systems have all evolved over the centuries in response to the social, economical, geopolitical developments and the innovations in technology. All these have impacted and shall continue to impact the evolution in the education system itself. During the ancient ages to the Middle Ages, education was imparted on a person-to-person basis, thus limited in scale, and also education was informal in nature. It involved close contact between the teacher and the taught, lack of standardization in curriculum, overlap of religious leaders as teachers had very limited scalability. Then the next phase started when we had the printing press with the innovation of the printing press, which was around 1940. This enabled the masses to get access to the basic education and brought in a culture of scientific inquiry. The teaching spread from one to many. Physical books allowed a means to disseminate knowledge. It led to establishment of colleges and universities like I.I.T.S with fixed, rigid structures. It also led to the culture of research. The increasing scale of higher education led to the need of regulations and standardizations also. Governments of the country assumed role of the regulators, and institutions like University Grants Commission, All India Council for Technical Education, Medical Council of India, Bar Council, etc. assumed importance. Then came the next phase, which started late 70s and early 80s with the emergence of internet and IT. In fact, the computer was invented in 1960, if I remember correctly, and it was the University of California. But by the time it reached here, it was 70s and 80s. Now, this has changed the mode of delivery and has provided a technology platform to impart education and share learning. Blackboards and chalks were replaced by technology-driven interactive boards. Increased use of learning devices like personal computers and laptops, and better learning through collaborations. However, the core learning methods remain unchanged. The speed and space of teaching changed, but the core philosophy of teaching with the teacher at the center of teaching remain unchanged. The teacher was always at the center of everything. The developments of interplay between industry and the university's skill development based on the need of the industry, sponsorship, internships, job assurances for specially skilled students are now driving the demand of higher education. Courses to bridge the gap between the university syllabus and on the job have resulted in bridge courses by the likes of NIITs. In developed countries, industry finance and sponsored research for technology development is also the new flavor of the day. Emerging technologies, including social media, mobile technology, data analytics, and cloud computing, are impacting the areas of higher education today. We call it the impact of SMAC. The next wave of transformation in higher education, this wave which has started now, or we are trying to start, that here the student will be at the center of the ecosystem, and the student will be empowered here. Everything will revolve around the student. Till now, the teacher was at the center. Now, it has to be the student at the center of the ecosystem, which will empower him to structure his individual path, keeping the goal which he has in mind. What we call this as a personalized learning. That is, he will have the freedom to opt for the variety of education program he wants. Any subject which he wants to learn or teach, he has the option to do it. Not only that, he will have the option of the instruction approach which he wants to follow. It can be the classroom teaching, it can be by online teaching, or it can be learning by experience. Or then the academic support which he wants. He can have the academic support of the books, he can have the academic support online, or he can have the academic support of his teachers. Not only that, he can get the academic support by learning or experience learning while working itself. This, at the center of this new concept of personalized learning, will be the personal goal of the student or the learner. In fact, the student will be the architect of his own future. He will structure his own path. Today, evolution is taking place at the pace where change is measured not in terms of centuries, the change is measured in terms of years. Learning will not only be from universities, but from peers, industry, society at large, and earlier researches done in the field of study. Not only this, the stakeholders will no more be the parents, students, and teachers. The new stakeholders will be the learner. When I say the learner, it is not necessary that the learner is a student in some college or university. He will be the stakeholder, and the stakeholder will also be the universities. They will have to make a critical decision, that is, either embrace new opportunities and succeed, or wrong choice and perish. Again, universities will have to focus on employability of the students. Not only this, it has to act as a hub of research. Then another stakeholder is the industry itself. The industry has to partner with the universities in framing the syllabi and also training the students. Not only this, there has to be a public-private partnership of the industry and the universities for research. And research must be sponsored by the industry also. Then the last stakeholder, which is an obvious stakeholder, is the society itself. Everything should be done keeping in mind the benefit of the society. Whatever research you are doing, it must benefit the society at large. And for this, the method of teaching has to be a dynamic technology. That is, The student will have the option how to do it, when to do it, why to do it, where to do it, and with whom to study. And learning would be instructional, remote, or content-based. Then learning can also be, as I said, through experience while working itself. On the job, it can be a social learning or through peers, or it can be supported by technology. For all this, we have to upgrade ourselves in education to the global standards because of the traditional way of learning, thinking, dissemination of information, which is changing very fast. A small beginning in this direction was the introduction of the choice-based credit system, which the University Grants Commission imposed on all the universities. Nobody wanted to adopt this system because they thought it was very complicated. The system is as simple as any engineering student, if you have 5 papers in a semester, 4 could be of engineering, 1 paper you can opt from any field. It can be a paper from painting also. It can be a paper of music also. It can be a paper of a language. This reminds me, I had gone to Gorakhpur last year, where the class 12 students were sitting, and the parents were also there. After I talked to them, one student stood up and he said, I have a question to ask. I said, what is it? He said, ma'am, I don't want to be an engineer, but my parents want that I should become an engineer. I asked him, what do you want to become? His passion was music. He said, I want to become a singer. I want to continue in this. I asked him, are your parents with you? He said, yes. I said, all right, in that case, I'll reply. You have an option now that while doing engineering, you can opt 1 paper of any subject. You opt that paper of music and you can learn it online also. The government has said that if you do a course online, in that case, the marks which would be given there, you will be evaluated online. They will be transferred in your grade sheet. So that option is there. And for online courses, let me tell you, we have the courses of MOOCs, Coursera, and now we have the portal of Swayam and Swayam Prabha also. All these courses are free. And the courses of MOOCs are given by none other than the Nobel laureates, eminent scientists, senior professors of Harvard University, Stanford, Cambridge, Berkeley, and many others. And it is absolutely free of cost. Nothing is charged. If you do not understand any specialization or any paper in the class, you can go online for that paper and you can study from there. Not only that, if you want to have a certification, in that case, the cost is very less. I'm not very sure, but it is around 1,000 rupees. You pay that and you get the certification done, and you can transfer the marks from your certificate into the grade sheet given by the university. Well, we have, some others have also come here. So what is happening now, the government of India is permitting the foreign universities also to India. And with that, we will have an international syllabus and international approach of teaching. Well, though it has not started, but indirectly, yes, it has started when we have started having collaborations with the foreign universities, MOUs with the foreign university, and started giving the joint degrees. Now, in medical industry, just now it was spoken about artificial intelligence. It is being used, and robotic surgery is being done in many fields. One of the earliest hospitals which adopted it is the Manipal Hospital. Besides robotic surgery, artificial intelligence comes in handy for analyzing the huge data. Let me give you one example. India has 1 oncologist for every 1,000 patients. Many patients are internet savvy and would like to know how a certain research paper would influence their treatment. Late 2015, early 2016, on an average, 130 research papers on cancers were published every day. It is not possible for a doctor to study all the papers. And so Manipal Hospital partnered with IBM to bring Watson, other name of artificial intelligence. Watson has the capacity of analyzing thousands of papers and mountains of data on each type of cancer and suggests the most appropriate treatment. No doubt, there is a concern over the risk which artificial intelligence poses to humanity, but this is only if it is mismanaged, such as Terminator-type killer robots. Now, I was seeing a video and made by the scientists and technologists of the Pentagon Research Agency, DARPA. They have shared their vision on how the world would be after 30 years. The neurologists are trying to make mind control gadgets, which will control things by using their mind. We already have examples of brain implants which control the prosthetic arms or legs, which give the sense of touch to a paralyzed man. Then they're trying to make the aircraft landing as simple as saying, prepare for landing. They're trying to build stuff as strong as steel and as light as carbon fiber, besides other things. Now, I would like to share with you something about ancient India. We all know ancient India was a knowledge society which contributed a great deal to civilization. This, I'm trying to encourage the students that if you want, you can do anything. In our country today, we don't have a world-class university in the country. The name of not even a single university comes in the top 100 universities. Yes, if we take top 200, then Indian Institute of Science and some IITs are there. But, you know, you'll be surprised. Outside in the world, there is no world-class university in which Indians are not working. A country as small as Singapore, whose population is less than half of the population of Mumbai, has 3 world-class universities. So if they can have, why can't we have? In our country, I would just like to tell you 2 lines I'll speak, which gives the distance of sun from the earth. And these 2 lines are given in Hanuman Chalisa. And the same distance was given by NASA years later. Not only this, and since we don't have time, I won't speak out those lines. There are only 2 lines. We had Aryabhatta. He gave us 0. The entire base of computer science is the binary system 0, 1. You would not be knowing that he gave many results, like small formulas, a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. He gave the arithmetical progression. He gave the area of the triangle and the circle. He gave the value of pi. And then Brahmagupta gave the solution for quadratic equations. Bhaskaracharya, he was the one who gave the notation for fractions and the notations for writing successive powers, x square, x cube. Why I'm saying all this? You belong to this country where they had done wonders. And you can also do wonders. But the only thing is you have to be dedicated and you have to learn to be learners. As somebody said just now, you have to become lifelong learners. So the duty of the teacher today is to see to it that he turns the students or he tells them how to learn to become learners. It is just like this. If you want to learn walking, you have to walk to learn walking. You have to sing to learn singing. So this is a must. Now, when a child goes to a school, goes to class 11th, he decides he wants to be an engineer or a doctor or whatever it is. But what happens? 8 years later, when he becomes the engineer or doctors, the 10 jobs which he was focusing when he joined class 11, 7 out of the 10 jobs are gone. Only 3 jobs are left. So until or unless you upgrade yourself, you will not be in the jobs. Only 3 kinds of jobs are going to be left in the country today. They are of the specialists, the people who manage, the persons who manage people, and the third is creative jobs. Only 3 kinds of jobs will be left. So you have to upgrade yourself. The world is talking about talking computers, making talking computers, and they are finding the language, which language should be used. They have zeroed in on the language which is Sanskrit. And Sanskrit language, now government is also making it compulsory for everybody. And let me tell you, this country, we have walked a long path, a long way for education. This study was done recently by the Ernst & Young, along with Vicky also. So students, be a part of making computers, learn Sanskrit, and I would end this with an equation, being a mathematician, and that is also, in fact, it is the vision of the Prime Minister Modi ji, which is IT plus IT is equal to IT. I repeat, IT plus IT is equal to IT. IT is information technology plus Indian talent. Information technology plus Indian talent is equal to India tomorrow. All the best. Right.